Hi, welcome to Mondays with Melissa. Today I want to talk about the difference between Medicare and Medicaid. We get this question all the time, and a lot of people make assumptions about Medicaid as it relates to Medicare and vice versa. First and foremost, October 15th marks the beginning of open enrollment for Medicare, when you can review your plans and determine whether or not you need to make any changes. So just a date to keep in mind. But I want to talk about, again, the way that these two types of insurances work together. So the most important thing that you should know is that Medicare is a short-term payer. So Medicare will be typically your first payer if you go to the doctor, the hospital, any sort of specialist, and then most people will have a supplemental insurance policy that will pay for any co-pays or anything that Medicare doesn't cover. And sometimes people will have a Medicare Advantage plan, which is basically a combination of Medicare and a supplemental insurance policy. And they have all different types of plans, and you need to know what your doctor takes and what your doctor doesn't take. There are specialists out there that will help you work through all of this. But where we run into the Medicare Medicaid issue in elder law has to do with skilled nursing facilities. So a lot of the things that we hear from clients, or the most common thing that I hear from clients is, well, once my mom goes on Medicaid, I can drop Medicare and the supplemental insurance. And the answer is absolutely not. Medicaid is the payer of last resort. So Medicare is going to be the first payer, with the supplemental insurance backing it up. And then Medicaid is going to cover what's not covered there, as long as the provider takes Medicaid, which all nursing homes in New York State do. So if somebody is going from the hospital to a skilled nursing facility, Medicare is going to cover the first 20 days in full, and then days 21 to 100 there's a copay. This year that copay is $204 a day. Your supplemental insurance may cover that copay, and it may not. It depends on the insurance, and the nursing home is going to be the one to tell you whether or not there's coverage there. If it doesn't cover, then it is going to have to be paid out of pocket. If you do have Medicaid, sometimes Medicaid will cover that copay. But the important thing to know is that anywhere from day 21 to 100, Medicare can cut off if they feel you're not progressing with your rehabilitation in the nursing facility. At that point, that person becomes full private pay at the regular daily rate of the facility. So if they're not eligible for Medicaid at that point, again, it's going to be out of pocket at a much higher rate. So just keep in mind, Medicaid is the payer of last resort, but your Medicare and your supplemental insurance should always stay intact. Medicaid wants you to have your Medicare and your supplemental insurance, and so they allow for the payment of that to come out of your income before they budget your income for Medicaid purposes. So even the simplest of things, or what may seem like the simplest of things with Medicare and Medicaid, really have some very intricate nuances and should be discussed with an elder law attorney. So please put any questions you have in the comment section, like, share, and subscribe, and give us a call if you have questions. We offer free consultations at our offices in Garden City, Melville, and Port Jefferson. See you next week.